You are 16 years old, standing barefoot on the cold stone floor of the Temple of Hathor. The air smells of melted wax, dried herbs, and something sweet and strange, like flowers soaked too long in warm water. Tonight is your first real ritual, not practice, not watching. This time you're a part of it. The blue lotus sits in a wide golden bowl, its petals soft and shining. It floats in red wine, turning the liquid purple. The priestess beside you nods once. You lift the bowl with shaking hands and take a sip. The taste is bitter and sweet, thick, heavy. You swallow doubt at first, nothing happens. Then everything shifts. The temple walls begin to move, not with wind, but with a rhythm, like they are breathing. The lamps flicker more than before, even. Though the air is still, you blink hard, your arms feel heavy. Your feet no longer press firmly against the ground. You feel like you're floating. Even though you're still standing, this is the opening of the blue lotus. The other priestesses begin to sway. They wear white linen and golden bands. Some hold flowers, some hold nothing at all. Behind them, masked priests appear. Their faces are hidden: jackal, falcon, lion. They do not speak. Instead, they begin to chant in low, deep tones. The words feel ancient, older than anything you've read or heard. You look at your own hands. They shimmer slightly, like you're underwater. You try to breathe deeply, but even the air feels thick, like you're inhaling clouds. Somewhere far away, someone plays a soft drum beat, slow and steady. It echoes through your chest. This was meant to bring you closer to the gods. That's what the elders said, but you don't feel closer to the gods. You feel further from yourself. Your memories begin to slide. You try to think of home, of your mother's voice, of your younger sister's laughter, but the images won't stay still. They slip through your fingers like sand. Your name feels less real. You remember it, but it doesn't feel like it belongs to you anymore. This is what they call transcendence. A state beyond pain, beyond self, but what if it's not divine? What if it's a cage? A priestess stumbles next to you, laughing softly at something no one said. Another hums a tune that doesn't exist. You try to speak, to ask what's happening, but the words do not come out. Your tongue feels too large. Your mouth too slowed out. The blue lotus opens in your mind now, not just in the bowl. You see colors you've never seen before. Hear sounds with no source. At first it's beautiful. Then it becomes overwhelming. You try to shut your eyes, but the images remain. Your mind is running, but your body is still. You remember what you were told in training, that this flower is sacred, that it opens the path to the spirit world, that it helps you hear the voice of the goddess. But no one told you it could be dangerous. No one warned you it was addictive. You look around. The older priestesses seem at peace. Some are swaying. Some are lying on the ground, smiling at the ceiling. A few are whispering to themselves. You wonder, have they been drinking this flower for years? Do they know what it really does? You take another step forward. The floor tilts slightly, or maybe it's your body. The world bends. You are no longer sure what is real. A statue of Hathor watches you from the shadows. She holds a sistrum in one hand, a smile carved into her stone face. You think she's smiling at you? Then you're sure she's frowning. Then she's gone. The blue lotus opens deeper. A voice whispers in your ear, or maybe in your mind. It says nothing you understand, but it makes you feel cold. The kind of cold that wraps around your heart. You want to leave, but your feet won't move. You are not worshiping anymore. You are being trained. This is not about the divine. This is about obedience. The flower keeps your thoughts slow, your questions quiet. It softens your fears and makes you easier to mold. You understand. Now, the lotus is not only a gift, it is a tool. The mass priests chant louder. Their rhythm pushes deeper into your chest. You watch as one priestess is led away, eyes closed, humming. You want to call out, but your voice is trapped. You think of your sister again. You remember her asking why you were chosen to serve in the temple. You had smiled, proud. You had believed it was an honor. Now you wonder, was it an honor or a plan? The flower blooms inside you now, growing into every corner of your mind. You feel calm, you feel quiet, but deep inside, a small part of you fights to stay awake, to stay yourself. That part sees what the others do not. The priests aren't just guides. They are watchers. The rituals aren't just prayers. They are lessons in silence. This is how control begins, not with chains, but with petals. You hear someone say, "She is ready." You don't know who they mean. Maybe it's you. Maybe. It doesn't matter. Your arms rise on their own. Your mouth opens in chant, though you do not know the words. You move like the others now, soft and slow. The girl you were is falling away. The blue lotus has opened fully, and now it will never. Close. You open your eyes, but the world is still dark. There is no sky, no wind, no sound of life. Only the scent of smoke and stone. You're lying on the cold ground, your head heavy, your tongue dry. You try to move, but your limbs feel slow, like they are covered in sand. It takes a moment to remember where you are, or who you are. The taste of the blue lotus still clings to your mouth. The soft smoke of incense curls around your face. Somewhere, a single oil lamp flickers, casting long shadows on the walls. You sit up slowly. Your back aches. Your fingers tremble. You are not in your bed. You are in a tomb. You look around. The walls are covered in paintings, strange, faded images of gods and spirits. Some have animal heads. Some hold staffs. Some stretch out their hands as if reaching through the stone. Their eyes seem to follow you, even in the dim light. You blink, but they do not go away. You were in the temple, weren't you? The dance, the chanting, the flower and the wine. You remember the feeling of drifting, of floating, but now the dream feels far away. Or maybe it has just changed. You try to stand, using the wall for support. The stones are rough and cold beneath your palms. You take a few slow steps forward. The floor is uneven, cracked. You pass a broken statue, its face chipped away. One of its arms lies beside it, as if torn off. Then, suddenly, you fall. The ground gives way under your feet, and you land hard in a shallow pit. Dust rises around you. Your elbow hits something hard. You cough, wave the air away, and look down. There is someone lying next to you. No, not someone. What remains of someone? A small body wrapped in linen, dry and silent. A child. Her face is hidden, but her hands are visible. In one of them, she holds a few dried blue petals. You freeze. Your heart pounds. Was she like you? Was she brought to the temple? Did she drink the flower? Did she close her eyes and never open them again? You want to cry out. You want to scream for help. But when you shout, the sound doesn't echo. It just disappears, swallowed by the stone. The tomb absorbs your voice like it's heard too many cries already. You climb out of the pit, shaking. Your legs barely hold you. You press your hand to your chest and try to breathe. You walk farther into the tomb. The paintings grow stranger. One shows a figure kneeling before a masked priest. Another shows a girl with her eyes closed, flowers around her head. Another shows fire. You stop. The girl in the painting looks like you. You step closer. Her face is calm, but her arms are tied. Around her are jars, bowls, and smoke. Behind her, the same blue lotus blooms. Was this a vision? Or was it a warning? You touch the wall gently. The paint flakes under your fingers. It feels too real. You close your eyes and whisper your name, just to remember who you are, but your name feels thin now. Like paper in the wind, dot in the far corner. Of the chamber, something shines. You walk toward it slowly, your feet brushing against old dust. It's a small silver mirror, cracked down the middle. You lift it. You see your face, split in two. Your eyes look lost. Your mouth doesn't smile. You touch your cheek, and your reflection does not move. You drop the mirror. It shatters on the floor. You cover your face with your hands and try to think. Is this a dream? A lesson? A punishment? Did the flower do this? Or did the temple? In Egypt, they say the blue lotus brings visions, that it lets you speak with gods. But no one ever said what happens when you cannot come back. When the door between worlds stays open, and you're left in between. You sit down beside the wall, your back against cool stone. The air grows colder. The lamp flickers again, then dies. Now there is only darkness, but your eyes adjust. You begin to see outlines. You are not alone. Shapes move in the corners, silent figures. Girls in white robes, boys with shaved heads, all quiet, all watching. Their eyes are hollow, their mouths closed. You realize they are not real, or maybe they were once children brought to the temple, given the flower, shown the gods. Left behind, you whisper, "Why? Me?" No one answers, but the question floats in the air like dust. You were told the rituals were sacred, that you were chosen, that it was a blessing. But now, in the quiet tomb, you see the truth. It was never about blessing. It was about silence. The flower keeps people calm, keeps them quiet, keeps them easy to shape. You were not chosen for your spirit. You were chosen for your silence. You lean your head back. You want to wake up. You want the dream to end. But this is not a dream. This is a memory, or maybe a warning. You think of the girl in the pit, her small hands holding petals, long dried. Her mouth still, her body wrapped. She was you. Before, you were you. And now you are her. You close your eyes. Not to sleep, but to escape the dark. But the dark is already inside you. You feel the blue lotus again, not in your mouth, but in your mind, blooming, opening, soft and slow, and you understand something terrible. The high was never just for pleasure. It was a gate, a tool, a sacrifice. And now you have passed through. You step outside, but the world doesn't feel real. The sky above you moves like water blue and gold, swirling as if painted by invisible hands. The air is thick, sweet, and full of strange sounds. The city before you is Thebes, but it doesn't look like how you remembered it. The walls of the buildings shine like melted gold. Torches line the streets, flickering with tall flames, though it is still daytime. Everything glows. Everything bends. It feels like the whole city is breathing. You walk slowly through the stone path, barefoot and silent. The blue lotus is still in your body, gently holding your mind. You can think, but your thoughts are soft. Your steps feel like floating. Your eyes feel too open, like they can see behind things. In a garden ahead, a group of nobles are laughing. They wear silk robes and golden rings. Their skin shines with oil. One of them raises a silver cup filled with red wine. You notice something else mixed in, tiny white drops. Poppy milk. They sip the wine slowly. Their eyes roll back slightly. Their mouths stretch into smiles that are too wide, too still. Woman with dark painted eyes is lying on a couch made of ivory. She laughs without sound. A servant fans her gently. Next to her, a man dips a bread roll into honey, then into the wine. He chews like he's tasting the stars. You keep walking. No one sees you. Or maybe they see you and don't care. Either way, you move past them like a shadow. This is not a poor man's dream. This is a palace dream. You were always told that only beggars drink to forget their pain. That only the broken turn to strange herbs to silence the world. That the rich were above such things, strong in the mind, pure in the body, But here, even queens chase the same fog dot you enter the street market. Music plays, flutes and strings, but the notes twist and pull, as if the air itself is bending them. A boy with a shaved head sells sweet beer in large jars. His hands move fast, his smile is blank. The drink foams as he pours it. The foam spills and spills, but no one seems to notice. An old woman hands him a small clay token, drinks a cup of beer, and begins to spin slowly in place. Her eyes close. Her feet move to a rhythm only she can hear. You watch her spin, and it makes you dizzy. Across the square, a group of workers sit under a tree, chewing on thick pieces of root. Their faces are slack, their words slow. Mandrake, you recognize the bitter scent. One man closes his eyes and leans back, arms open to the sky. His mouth whispers thanks to a god who isn't there. You pass by them in silence. You reach a temple. It is smaller than the Temple of Hathor, but still grand. Painted walls, tall pillars, silver bowls burning thick smoke. The priests walk in. Slow circles, their faces are blank. Some carry incense. Some just hum. You hear no prayer. Only breath. The scent in the air is not normal incense. It is stronger, deeper. It makes your head feel light. You stay outside the temple gates, afraid to step in. But even from here, the smoke reaches you. A young priest places a burning branch in a bowl. The smoke rises fast. He closes his eyes and walks through it. His body shakes slightly. His lips move. But he is not talking to anyone in this world. In this Egypt, you think, no one is truly awake. The nobles drink to escape the boredom of power. The poor drink to escape the pain of hunger. The priests inhale the air of forgetfulness. Even the children sip beer before they sleep. You sit on a stone bench near the river. The Nile moves slowly. The water reflects the golden sky, but the reflection is cracked. You stare at it, waiting for it to make sense. But at DOE single quotes T. Two fishermen sit nearby, silent. One of them holds a small jar close to his mouth. He breathes something in, then passes it to the other. Neither of them speaks. They just look at the river, their eyes wide and empty. Behind you, a storyteller begins to speak to a small crowd. His voice is slow, his words thick. He speaks of a pharaoh who drank a cup of poppy milk and dreamed he was a bird. In his dream, he flew to the moon. When he woke, he ordered his builders to make wings. When they failed, he punished them all. The crowd laughs softly, but it's a tired laugh. They've heard stories like this before. They live inside one now. You stand again and walk toward a small alley. A girl, no older than 10, sits with her back to the wall. Her hands are stained with red juice. She holds a cracked bowl filled with something that smells like wine and fruit. She drinks, then leans her head back and hums. Even children are floating. In this world, you lean against the wall. Your body is tired, but your mind keeps running. This is not how the world is supposed to be, you think, but maybe this is how it's always been. People running from silence. People chasing dreams. People closing their eyes because the real world feels too sharp. You think about the Blue Lotus again, how it opened you, how it pulled you away from yourself. You wonder, are you still in its grip? Is this still a vision? Or are you finally seeing clearly? In the golden city of Thebes, no one walks with a steady step. No one speaks with a full voice. They float, they whisper. They sip and smile and forget. The sky above ripples like a pool. The clouds move like dancers. The sun glows too bright. You cover your eyes. This is not just a city. It is a dream, and no one wants to wake up. You walk toward a temple that rises from the earth like a memory. Its walls are cracked. Its roof is held by columns carved with strange shapes. You feel small as you stand before it. The air is still. The sound of the street behind you disappears. As if swallowed, you step inside Dot at once. The world becomes slow. The air is thick, heavy with smoke. Not like the sweet incense from the Temple of Hathor. The smoke is darker, bitter. It bites the back of your throat, even though no fire is in. Sight that large copper bowls line the floor. Smoke pours from them in long streams. It curls around your body, your arms, your face. It touches your skin like fog, but it feels warm. Too warm that your eyes begin to water. The light inside the temple is strange. Not sunlight, not firelight. Just a glow. It seems to come from the walls themselves. Or from nothing at all. You walk deeper. Figures appear through the smoke. The high priests, they move without sound. Their robes are deep brown, heavy and long. Their faces are hidden behind large masks. One has the head of a jackal, one of a falcon, another of a lion. Their eyes are dark holes, empty and watching. They whisper. Not in your language. Not in any language, you know. Their words sound like wind through old trees, like a river beneath stone, like the cry of something far away. You try to speak. Your lips move, but no sound comes out. One of the priests steps toward you. In his hand is a small clay bowl filled with oil. He dips his finger into it, then touches your forehead. The oil is cold. You fall to your knees. Your vision shifts. The floor below you ripples. The temple spins, but nothing moves. You blink, but the colors do not settle. Your arms hang by your sides. You are still awake, but not truly here. You are not being welcomed. You are being changed. The ritual has begun. No one speaks to you. No one lifts you, but the air itself carries you. You feel yourself rise, though your body remains still. You float inside your mind. Time slips away. You do not know if minutes pass, or hours, or days. There is no clock. No sun, only smoke and shadow. You hear voices, some soft, some sharp. One sounds like laughter, another like crying. Then both fade. Then silence. You try to remember your name. It takes a moment. You try to remember why you came. You cannot. You're sitting now, or lying. You cannot tell. The stone beneath you feels soft. The smoke thickens. Your eyes close. When you open them, the temple has changed. The priests are gone, or maybe they are still there, just not where you can see. On the walls are drawings. Shapes like stars and flowers, animals and hands. But they move, not with magic, but with your mind. You watch them swirl, then stop. Then melt. You are not alone. You hear a girl scream. At first, it sounds far away, then closer. You look around. There is no one near you. The scream comes again. This time you know it is yours. You open your mouth. You cry, but no one comes, no one sees. No one hears. The temple takes your voice like it takes the smoke, pulls it in, and keeps it. You close your eyes again. Inside your head, images flash. A river flowing backward. A bird with two heads. A garden filled with open mouths instead of flowers. None of it makes sense, but it all feels real. The herbs and the smoke were not made for healing. They were made for forgetting, for shaping. For breaking. They call them sacred. They call them holy, but you feel your thoughts slipping away. You forget what day it is, what season, what year. You try to count, but you don't remember numbers. You remember only the mask of the priest who touched you. You wonder if he remembers you now. Or if you have become like the others' faces without names, voices without meaning. You rise to your feet. Your knees shake. You move toward the exit, but the temple turns. No matter which direction you walk, the walls remain the same. Carvings, smoke, silence. It is a maze. A trap. A place built not to guide, but to hold. You sit down again. You breathe in. Scent is stronger now. A mix of oil, herbs, ash. It no longer smells bad. It smells like home. You are forgetting what real air felt like. You see a child walking across the room. Her eyes are closed, her arms open. She walks through the smoke without fear. She disappears. You try to follow, but your legs fail. You crawl instead. Each step forward feels like sinking into warm water. You reach a corner. You curl up there. You hold your knees to your chest. You whisper your name again. It feels weak, thin, almost gone. You understand. Now, this temple is not just a place. It is a machine. And the smoke is not just decoration. It is fuel. You were brought here not to pray, but to be changed, not to speak, but to be quieted, not to grow stronger, but to be softened. This is not a dream. This is a design. You close your eyes, not because you're tired, but because it is the only way to stay still. In this temple of smoke and silence, even your thoughts must learn to whisper. You sit beneath a fig tree. Its branches reach out like arms, heavy with fruit. The moon hangs above you, full and white, casting silver shadows on the ground. The leaves whisper gently in the night wind, and the temple behind you is quiet. In your hand is a small clay cup. The liquid inside is dark and bitter. It smells like old roots, wet earth, and something sharp. A priest handed it to you earlier, saying it would bring visions, that it would open your mind to what is hidden. You take a sip. The taste burns your tongue. You wait for something to happen. It begins. Slowly, the shadows shift. The trees move without wind. The stars above twinkle too fast, like they are blinking. You take another sip. Your hands begin to feel warm, then cold, then both at once. You were told this was part of the journey, that seeing other worlds was a gift, that the bitter drink made from mandrake root would help you see beyond. But what you see does not feel like a gift. Your vision stretches. The tree in front of you becomes taller, then shorter, then begins to melt like wax in the heat. You try to blink it away, but it stays the same. You look at your hands. They glow, then fade, then turn into dust and return again. You close your eyes. The darkness behind your lids is not empty. It is full of faces. They appear one by one, some smiling, some crying, some broken. You know, none of them, yet they feel familiar. One of them speaks, but you cannot understand. Her mouth opens too wide. Her eyes are gone. She begins to scream. You open your eyes again, but the scream is still there. Not outside. Inside. You grab your head. You try to stop it, but it grows louder, like a storm inside your mind. You press your hands over your ears, but the scream is not in your ears. It's in your chest, in your bones. You remember something the priest said before giving you the drink. Mandrake roots are not picked by hand. They are pulled from the earth using ropes tied to animals, because the plant screams. When taken. And if you hear it with your ears, they say, it can drive you mad. Now, you understand. The scream is not from the plant anymore. It is in you. You stand, but your legs do not move the way they should. The ground feels soft, like sand, then like water. You take a step and fall forward. You land on your hands, but the dirt feels like cloth. Or maybe skin. You crawl away from the tree. The temple looks far now, even though it is not. Your breathing becomes fast. The sky changes again. The stars begin to move, not across the sky like normal, but in circles. They spin around each other. They make shapes. A bird, a knife, an open mouth. You whisper to yourself, this is not real. This is not real. But your voice sounds different. Higher or deeper. Or not your own. You feel like you are falling into a hole, but there is no hole. You fall through the earth, then you land back where you started, still under the fig tree, still holding the empty cup, still shaking. You remember stories of the past, how Pharaohs gave mandrake to slaves, to keep them quiet, to make them slow, to stop their thoughts. They said it was for healing, that it brought peace, but now you see the truth, it wasn't for peace, it was for control. You picture a slave in chains, eyes wide, chewing the same root you just drank. You see his fear replaced with stillness, his anger turned into silence. You see noble women placing mandrake in wine, not for themselves, but for other women, for rivals, for enemies. One sip, and the mind bends. Dreams turn into nightmares. Power turns into confusion. You were told this was medicine, but now you understand, it was a weapon, and you drank it. You feel tears run down your face. Or maybe it's sweat. You can't tell anymore. You lie down on the cold ground, above you. The stars spin faster, one of them falls, then another. Then the sky itself breaks into lines. You turn your head to the side and see something crawling in the grass. A beetle, a snake, a shadow. It moves like a question. You close your eyes again. The faces return, this time. They're clearer. One of them is yours, but she is not awake, her eyes are closed. Her lips are open. She is floating, arms out, hair spread like water, you reach for her, but your hand goes through the image. She fades. You open your eyes. Once more, everything is still. The scream is softer now, but it is still there, in the back of your head, waiting, You sit up slowly. You look at the cup, it is empty, you drop it, it breaks, no one comes, now. One hears. You are alone with the scream, with the stars, with the root that opens something you can't. Close and deep inside, the visions will not stop, not tonight, maybe not ever. You walk through the gates of the royal palace. The air is thick with perfume. The garden is wide and full of flowers. Every tree shines. Every leaf is perfect. Birds sing from golden cages. Water flows from stone fountains shaped like lions. But even in all this beauty, something feels wrong. Everything is too still, too quiet, too clean. The colors seem brighter than they should be. The sky above is too blue. The air smells too sweet, like fruit that has gone soft. You take a step forward, and your foot sinks slightly into soft grass. Flowers bloom around your ankles, their petals wide, open, glowing. In the center of the garden sits a golden tray. On it are small round cakes, pale, soft, and covered in honey. They look harmless, sweet, but you know what they are. Poppy cakes, made from the same plant that once grew wild by the Nile. The same plant that now fills the palace with quiet. You remember what they told you. These cakes are for peace, for rest, for deep dreams. The pharaoh eats one every day, sometimes more. He says they help him hear the gods. He says they bring visions, but what they really bring is silence. You step closer to the tray. No guards stop you. No one speaks. The garden is full of people, but they move like shadows. A nobleman sits beneath a tree, his eyes half open. His hand slowly moves a fan, but not toward himself, just in slow circles. As if he forgot why he was moving, a queen sits near the fountain, her hands in her lap. Her child lies beside her on a silk cushion, eyes wide but empty. He hums a tune without words. The queen smiles softly. She strokes his hair. She looks proud, but the boy doesn't move. He just stares at the sky. You feel a shiver in your back. You turn to leave, but something holds you still. The air is too heavy. You sit on a stone bench near the poppy tray. A servant passes by, carrying another bowl of the same cakes. He walks carefully, his head down. He places the bowl next to the first and walks away. No one eats with hunger here. They eat to escape. You remember how the priests in the temple use smoke to cloud the mind, how the mandrake drink brought screams and colors. But this is different. This is softer, Slower, Dot. This is not a storm, Dot. It is a slow drowning. You watch a young woman lift a cake and place it in her mouth. She chews without thought. Her eyes close. Her head leans back. Her breath slows. She smiles. Not with joy, but with release, Dot. She has left the world, Dot, still sitting in it. You hear footsteps behind you. A man in a white robe walks past. He carries a long golden pipe. He stops by the pharaoh's chair. The pharaoh sits beneath a tall tree, wearing white linen and gold rings on every finger. His eyes are closed. He doesn't speak. The man lights the pipe and places it gently near the ruler's mouth. The pharaoh inhales, then stillness. The pipe is removed. Nothing changes. Not his face, not his hands, not his breath. You wonder how long he's been like this. A minute? A day? A year? You look at the tray again. The cakes are soft, but they carry weight. Not the weight of hunger, Dot. The weight of forgetting. You think of the builders of the pyramids, working in the sun, lifting stone after stone. You think of the farmers digging dry soil, the soldiers at the border, the children in temples, Dot, all awake, all hurting. But here, in this garden of dreams, no one feels pain because no one feels anything at all. You close your eyes. You imagine a king who once fought in battle, who once gave speeches, who once feared nothing. Now, that same king eats poppy cakes to silence the noise in his own head, not because he is weak, but because even kings have fears. And the higher you sit on the throne, the harder the fall. The poppy makes the fall feel far away. You open your eyes again. The garden is glowing in the soft light. Servants move quietly. Birds sing without rest. But no one listens. No one really sees. The dream has replaced the world. You ask yourself, is this peace, or is it something else? You stand again. The queen's child hums louder now. The queen still smiles. You look at the pharaoh, Dot. He does not move. You walk past the tray, past the fountain, past the guards who no longer guard. You step into the hallway. The palace is wide, with walls covered in gold and blue. But even here, silence fills every corner. Not the silence of rest, but of distance. You are in the center of power, and yet everything feels hollow. You understand something now? The empire was not built only on stone and gold, Dot. It was held together. With dreams, Dot, and with the things that made those dreams, come, Dot, poppy, Dot, smoke, Dot, roots, Dot, cakes, Dot, and silence, Dot, always silence. You leave the palace garden, but the smell stays with you. The taste of honey and something deeper. You wonder how long the rulers have been like this. Dot, how many generations have sat on that throne, smiling with closed eyes. Not awake, Dot, not asleep, Dot, just floating. You step back into the world. The air outside feels sharper. The sun feels hotter. The noise of the city feels real. You take a deep breath and hope you are still awake. You are 14. Your hands are shaking. Gold rings circle your wrists. A thin necklace rests on your chest. Your dress is made of fine linen, smooth and white, tied with cords of blue and red. Your hair has been braided, oiled, and shaped by older women with tired eyes and steady hands. You are told you look like a queen, but inside you feel small and afraid. The sun is setting over the rooftops of Thebes. Music plays softly in the courtyard. Drums, harps, slow, calm rhythms to match the moment. The air smells of flowers and smoke. You hear laughter nearby, but it does not belong to you. Tonight, you are being married, Dot, to a man old enough to be your grandfather. You do not love him. You do not know him. You have seen him only 3 times. He wears dark robes and gold sandals. He speaks slowly. His hands are heavy. His eyes do not blink often. Your mother stands beside you. She does not look at you, Dot. In her hands is a small clay cup, Dot. She gives it to you. Drink, she says. It will help. You know the scent. You've tasted it before. Blue Lotus. Again. You do not want a drink, but your hands move on their own. Your lips touch the cup. You sip slowly. The taste is bitter, sweet, and familiar. It slides down your throat like smoke. And then the world begins to soften. The walls of the room no longer feel sharp. The faces around you lose their edges. The music becomes a soft hum in your ears. You feel light, too light, as if your feet no longer belong to your body, but the fear does not leave. The pain stays. It does not vanish. It only grows quiet. You walk into the ceremony room, arm in arm with your mother. Your groom waits at the end of a long line of guests. His smile is thin. His beard is gray. He wears a crown of copper leaves. When he sees you, his smile does not grow. It stays the same. You take slow steps forward. Each step feels like a memory you didn't make. You see the other brides standing to the side. Girls like you, younger, older, all quiet, all still. Their lips are stained with the same flour. Their eyes are blank. Their hands are folded in front of them, like clay statues. No one speaks. No one runs. This is not joy. This is silence. Your groom takes your hand. His skin is dry. His fingers are cold. The priest speaks, but you cannot follow the words. They rise and fall like waves in a dream. You nod when others nod. You smile when others look. Somewhere deep inside, you whisper, "This is not me. This is not mine." But the whisper fades. You feel your body moving, your lips smiling, your head bowing. But you are not truly there. You are watching yourself from far away. You try to call your mother with your eyes, but she is gone. She has stepped into the background. She holds a cup in her hand. Another Blue Lotus waiting for another night. You wonder if she drank it too once, if she stood like this, silent and soft. Years ago. You wonder if she gave up the same way, if her smile today is real or just well practiced. The guests clap. The music grows louder. Dancers enter the room, spinning in gold and red. Plates of food appear. More wine, more laughter, but it all sounds distant. Like a festival on another street. You sit beside your husband. He says something in your ear. You nod. You do not hear the words. Your eyes fall to the floor. A small beetle crawls by your foot. It moves with purpose. It is real. You stare at it, grounding yourself. The only thing that makes sense. You remember your sister's voice, your father's song, the smell of warm bread from the market. You try to hold those things in your mind, but they slip away. The flower is doing its work. Not killing, not healing, just softening. Just silencing. This is not protection. This is not care. This is control. You see the girls beside you. Brides with quiet faces. Some hold their hands too tightly. One has tears running down her cheeks, but no sound comes. Another rocks gently in her seat. All of them wear smiles. Smiles like yours. You understand now. This is how they raise girls. In this place. Not with strength, but with silence. Not with truth, but with powder and petals and promises. You sip more wine. Not because you want to, but because it helps you disappear faster. The room glows with soft FIRELIGHT. The walls blur. The floor shifts. The music turns to wind. Your husband stands. He reaches for your hand. You follow him. Your body moves, but deep. Inside, a part of you stops walking. Stops hoping. Stops dreaming. Part of you curls up like a child in the corner of your mind and goes sleep. You do not know when or if it will ever wake again. And as you step into the next room, where the wedding night begins, you realize the gods were never watching, but someone was. And they wanted you quiet. Calm. Obedient. And no. The heaviest streets are full of sound. Drums beat like heartbeats. Flutes sing in the air. Dancers spin with bright scarves, their arms reaching toward the sky. The festival of Opet has begun. You walk among the people, wrapped in a thin white robe, your feet bare on the hot stone road. Colored ribbons fly overhead. Statues of gods are carried through the crowd on golden platforms. Everyone cheers. Everyone smiles, but no one is clear. The air smells like wine, sweat, and burning herbs. Smoke rises from small clay pots at every corner. The smoke isn't just for smell. It's thick and heavy. It wraps around your mind like a cloth. You look around now. One is sober, not even the priests. A man beside you drops to his knees, his hands raised in prayer. But his words are slow, slurred. His eyes roll back. A priest places a hand on his head, not to bless him, but to hold him still. The man falls forward into the dust, laughing softly. Then silent, you keep walking. Children chase each other with painted sticks. A woman dances in place, her eyes closed, her body swaying like a tree in wind. Her hands do not match the music. Her cup spills. She doesn't notice everywhere people drink. Wine pours from large jugs. It spills on robes, runs down arms, fills mouths. Some mix it with herbs. Some with poppy juice. Some with crushed leaves you don't recognize. You were told the festival is holy, that it honors the gods, that it connects the city to the divine. But what you see feels different. This is not worship. This is forgetting. You pass a young girl standing near a fruit stall. She stares at the crowd, her hands gripping a clay doll. Her mother kneels beside her, pouring wine into a wooden cup. The girl shakes her head. The mother speaks gently. It helps you sleep. Then she presses the cup to the girl's lips. The child drinks. You stop. You realize it is not for the girl. It is for the mother. The wine helps her forget the weight she carries, forget the choices. She made forget the girl's silence. You turn away. Farther down the road, a group of temple singers move together in a line. Their robes are gold. Their voices are soft, but you can see it in their eyes. They are not singing with joy. Their faces are calm, too calm. Their steps are slow. You smell the smoke they breathe. You remember the temple, the blue lotus, the silence it brought. Now, the whole city smells. Like that. You reach the river. Boats float gently on the Nile, decorated with colored cloth and candles. On one boat, a statue of Amun, the hidden god, sits surrounded by flowers. Priests rock back and forth beside it. Their mouths open and chant. But the chant doesn't sound holy. It sounds tired. Behind them. Jars of wine roll with the motion of the boat. Two priests drink from them between verses. One falls over. The other continues singing. The gods of Egypt ask for worship. Yes, but they also ask for something else. For silence, for forgetting. You see it in every corner of this festival. In the eyes of the mothers, in the hands of the fathers, in the mouths of the priests. They all want the same thing. To forget. To forget the pain of slavery, the fear of war. The hunger in the fields, the silence of girls who never returned from the temples. The broken backs of men who built tombs they would never see again. You pass an old man lying in the shadow of a palm tree. His mouth moves, whispering words to a god, or maybe to no one. His cup is empty. His eyes are open, but he does not see. You kneel beside him. He says, "They told us this was joy." Then he laughs. And he sleeps. You rise again and walk back. Into the crowd. Trumpets blow. Bells ring. Fire dances in bowls carried on shoulders. The people cheer, but their voices are too loud, too sharp, as if they're trying to cover something up. The gods are not cruel. They never ask for suffering, but the people who served them, they found ways to turn rituals into rules. They made silence holy. They made obedience sacred. They gave children flowers. instead of answers. They gave mothers wine instead of hope. They gave kings dreams instead of truth. You stop near a large wall, covered in paintings. One shows a priest offering flowers to a god. Another shows a woman holding a cup to a child's lips. Another shows a man bowing so low his body disappears into the ground. You stare at the wall. You know what these pictures mean now. They are not prayers. They are warnings. You hear more drums, more cheers, more laughter, but beneath it all, you hear something else, a whisper, a cry. Memory, not of the gods, but of the ones they forgot. You close your eyes. The air smells like wine. And ash, the sky turns deep orange as the sun begins to set. The festival continues, and everyone keeps smiling. You walk into a garden far from the noise of the city. There are no songs here, no laughter. Only dry wind and quiet earth. The plants are dead, but their names still live in your mind. Poppy, mandrake, lotus, henbane. Each one once grew here, tall and proud. Their flowers open to the sun, their roots deep in the ground, but they were not grown for beauty. They were grown for something else. You step carefully between the dry stems. The petals are gone. Only dust remains. Leaves crumble under your feet. The ground is cracked. The air is dry. Nothing new grows here now. It feels like a place that has been forgotten on purpose. You kneel beside a patch of dried lotus. The soil is darker here, heavier. You touch it and your fingers come away stained. The smell rises sweet, bitter, and sharp. The smell of old roots, of old blood. You close your eyes. You remember the temple, the blue lotus and wine, the soft fog that filled your head. You remember the mandrake dreams, the poppy cakes, the smoke. Now you're in the place where it all began. This garden was not for food. It was not for joy. It was a place of power, of medicine, of control. You walk deeper. Every plant you pass has a story. Mandrake, pulled from the ground with ropes because its cry was said to be deadly. Poppy, dried and ground into powder to bring deep sleep. Henbane, used in secret by those who wanted others to forget or to go quiet. Lotus, soaked in wine to soften fear. They called these plants sacred, but they were used like tools to shape minds, to break wells, to build peace without questions. You stop at a patch of mandrake. The ground here is soft. Too soft. You kneel again and begin to dig with your hands. The dirt is dry, but it moves easily. Then your fingers hit something hard. You dig slower. A small bone. Another. A tiny hand. You freeze. It is a child. Her body curled like a sleeping animal. Her face turned to the side. And her hand, clutched tightly, is a dried mandrake root. Its shape is twisted like a small figure with limbs. The root is dry now, but still strong. You feel your breath catch in your chest. You touch the side of her skull. It is cracked. Not from age. From something else. You sit back. Your hands are covered in dirt. Your heart feels heavy. You do not know her name. No one does, but she was here. She was given the root, and she never left. You look around. The garden is quiet. The wind moves the dried stalks like they are whispering. No one speaks of this place now, but once. It was known, a secret pharmacy. A place where a priest picked flowers not to heal, but to change. A place where potions were made, where children were trained, where brides were softened, where kings found silence. You wonder how many others are buried here, how many small hands hold roots, how many dreams ended before they even began. You rise slowly. The sun is low in the sky. The light turns red. The garden looks like a battlefield now. Every dead flower a soldier. Every empty space a memory. This is not just a place of plants. It is a graveyard. And not one marked by stone. No names. No prayers. Only silence. Buried beneath. The bloom, You step back toward the edge of the garden. You feel the weight of what you've seen. Egypt left behind temples, statues, pyramids, but it also left this. The quiet corners, the hidden truths. The places no one visits. You think of the songs sung during the festivals. The prayers offered to the gods, the incense burned in holy places. And then you think of this child, alone in the dirt. With a flower in her hand. You feel something break inside you. Not loud. Just a small crack. You look up at the sky. It is turning dark now. Stars begin to shine. The same stars that the priests once spoke to, that the kings once followed, that the mothers once wished on for their daughters. But the stars do not speak. They only watch. You take one last look at the garden. Then you walk away. The wind behind you moves the dead flowers. They sound like dry voices. Saying nothing, telling everything. You sit in a small wooden boat. It moves slowly along the Nile. The water around you is dark and still. The sky above reflects on its surface, but the stars look twisted. The moon seems too close. The air is soft, like it's made of smoke. You are alone. There is no sound but the quiet splash of water against the side of the boat. You don't know where you're going. You don't remember where you started. The wind brushes your face, but it brings no answers. You close your eyes. Are you awake? You try to remember. You see flashes, temples, gardens, faces, flowers. The smell of wine. The taste of the blue lotus. The weight of gold on your skin. The voice of your mother. The whisper of the priest. All of it feels far away, but also close. You open your eyes. Again, the stars have moved. You are still drifting. The drugs are gone now. No more smoke. No more flower. No more poppy or mandrake or henbane. But something inside you remains changed. The dreams never left. They stay in your chest, in your breath. In the way you see the world now, you look over the edge of the boat. The water reflects your face, but it moves too much to see clearly. You touch the surface. It feels cold. You wonder, was it all real? The temple, the wedding, the garden? Or was it all one long dream? You lean back in the boat. The wood creaks softly. The night is warm. You think about the stories they told in Egypt. The gods of healing, the gods of madness, the gods of the river and the sky. They worshipped order, but also chaos. They prayed for health, but also for escape. Maybe that's what the Blue Lotus really was. A way out. Not just of pain, but of thought. You remember what the priestess said. That the flower opened your soul, that the smoke let you see the truth. But now you wonder, was it truth? Or was it forgetfulness? Maybe the people weren't chasing gods. Maybe they were running from something else. From memory. From guilt. From the weight of the things they built. You imagine the pyramids. Again, tall, strong, proud. But how many lives were lost in their shadow? How many voices went unheard? How many children drank the flower before they knew what it was? How many mothers poured the wine with shaking hands? How many kings smiled with numb hearts? Ancient Egypt built wonders, but it also buried pain. It sang songs over silence. It told stories instead of truths. And maybe that's how it survived. You sit up slowly. The shore is nowhere in sight. Only the dark water. Only the drifting sky. You could row, but you don't. You let the boat move as it wants. There is no need to fight the current. It knows the way. Maybe this is what everyone did. The queens in the palace. The girls in the temple. The priests in the smoke. Maybe they all stopped rowing too. Maybe they all let go. You breathe in deeply. The air smells clean. For the first time in a long time. There's no incense. No perfume. Just the night. You feel both heavy and light, like your body is still here, but your mind is far away. You remember the garden. Again. The child holding the mandrake root. Her skull cracked. Her story lost. You remember the boy in the palace. Humming up the sky, the bride with the flower stained, smiled out the priest who whispered while the world burned. They are all with you now. Dot in the Thevkund, boat. Dot in the dark. Dot in the silence. You are not alone. You are drifting with 1,000 forgotten souls. Dot all quiet, all waiting. You do not speak. You do not cry. You just drift, and the Nile carries you. Dot forward. Dot always forward. Dot no. One knows what lies ahead. Maybe a new shore. Maybe a new temple. Maybe nothing, but it doesn't matter now, because you understand. Something. Egypt was never fully awake. Dot it lived in dreams. Dot it ruled in silence. Dot it forgot on purpose. Dot and now. So have you. You lie down in the boat. Dot your eyes look up at the sky. The stars blink. Dot the moon moves slowly. Dot the water rocks you gently, and you let it. You do not fight. You do not. Ask. Dot you just float, still drifting in the Nile.